In this video, I want to introduce you to the grind of programming. So this is what you're going to be doing on a daily basis, most of these days throughout this course. You'll be in Slack, and in our general channel, I'll post any announcements or anything. If you need to let off some steam, post it in random. I'm going to delete this portfolios channel, and I'm going to explain a little bit more later. We had so many people sign up that it really just kind of became overwhelming for me to manage this channel. So don't post inside portfolios anymore. At the end of the lesson, at the end of your working on things, we're going to have you do a check-in instead, and I'll show you how that's done. Again, everything is posted in resources. So if you're new to this course, you could start all the way up at the top on how to use Slack and work your way down through our instructional videos. We have homework posted in here, and we're going to have the next day's activities posted in here. So I'm making this video right now at 3 in the afternoon on Monday. This is going to be for Tuesday. And by the time you see this, by the time I post this, you'll have something in the resources channel that says day 2 interactive lesson. And basically that's going to be just taking it from up here. If you look up here, we have a curriculum. You can click on this link, and that will take you to this file. And I'll just make this easy for you. I'm going to copy and paste all of this and put it into resources for day 2. But for the time being, I'm going to use this as an example. And your interactive lessons for day 2, once you've got everything signed up, on the first day you signed up with Glitch, FreeCodeCamp, Coursera, and Slack. Now that everything's signed up, you're ready to do the grind. So you would click on freecodecamp.org/learn, and that's let's do this. I have it set up, but let me just click that thing just to start from where you are at. Okay. And again, I'm going to post that link inside of the resources channel, so you can access it there too. But if you're ever wondering, this thing that's way up here called the course curriculum is the document that I'm pulling from. And you can always search. Let's say you want to search curriculum. You don't even know how to spell it, so you just do like me and just hit that. Oh, no, it won't find it. All right, so you have to know how to spell curriculum. So there you go. You can type curriculum, and there it is. So now I've said in this curriculum, I said what we're going to do today is navigate to responsive web design certification, basic HTML and HTML5. Okay, let's start with the first one, responsive web design certification. This is the first thing here. And then basic HTML and HTML5, here you go. And it says, complete the first 14 challenges. If something's in italics, it's not a challenge that'll give you points, but it's essential to knowing. So it's not technically considered a challenge, but you do need to know it. So this is just information on HTML and HTML5. Going back. So you'll work through the first 14 of these. That's what it's saying to do. And so what I want to do is just work through one of them right here. I'm going to do add images to your website. And so this is what you're going to do. You're going to click on it, and you've been brought to this interactive application. On the left-hand side, you can see it's got some instructions, and in the middle, it's got some code, and on the right-hand side, it's got some output. But down here, this is what's called a console in programming terms. So, if you just click everything that it doesn't run right now, I didn't touch any of this code, I just hit run the tests. So the console will tell me what errors I'm having, why I didn't pass the test. Your page should have an image element. I didn't do anything, I just hit run the tests. So that's why it's telling me that. And the same thing is outputted down here. This is just a nicer way of looking at it, I guess. But this is realistic. We look at a console log, it's called, quite frequently as developers. So here we're going to add images to your website using the image element, img element, and point to a specific image's URL using the src attribute. Okay, this up here is called a URL. universal resource locator, I think. I don't know. We say it so often that we just forget. And if I ever URL stand for uniform resource locator. All right. Yeah, uniform resource locator. That just means it's all going to be formatted in a uniform way, a certain way. And so this is where this resource is located on the internet. That's what URL stands for. So an image needs some sort of source. Where is it pulling this image from? And so, they're just an example of this would be yourimagesource.com/yourimageJPG. This is an example. You learned earlier, and again, I picked a lesson that was in the middle of this, but you'll learn that every element, this is called a P element, here's your main element, here's an H2 element, and if you highlight over them, it tells you what they do. It's very handy. But again, I'm starting in the middle just to show you the process, but they're saying here that image elements are self-closing. A P element, you need a P in the beginning and you need a P at the end to kind of wrap it up in these two paragraphs. So that's why you need it the way it is. And you learned that earlier. You'll learn that first off. So even if you don't really understand what I'm saying right now, those lessons will be shown to you later on. So image elements, and that's how I'm going to keep referring to them, even though it's IMG. We just call them image elements, must have an alt attribute. The text inside an alt attribute is used for screen readers to improve accessibility and is displayed if the image fails to load. So for example, if someone is blind, they won't be able to see your image, but they'll use what's called a screen reader to understand what that image is because you've provided the text. So if we're going to provide a picture of a cute kitten, well, the alt would say a cute kitten. So someone would just know that's what you were referring to. That's why you include alt there. And it says, note if the image is purely decorative, using an empty alt attribute is a best practice. So like for these images down here, these icons, they actually did use an alt element, which is test failed, but you might not have needed to because it says, what's going on right here. For icons that aren't for icons with a label, you don't need the alt tag. That's what they're saying. Okay. The alt attribute should not contain special characters unless needed. That's because it'll screw up screen readers if you have funky characters in there. That's fine. That's not what we're going to do. Let's add an alt attribute to our image example above. So they have this image example right here, the source. Here's the URL, basically just a web address to an image. And then they're adding an alt description, which is author standing on a beach with 2 thumbs up. Great. So now this is part of the grind, is they want us to practice this stuff. Let's try to add an image to our website. So throughout completing these activities, you are creating this cat photo app. So they want you to do this within main, insert an image element before the existing P elements. Okay, IMG. And they said it's a self-closing tag, so that should be enough. Let's run the test and see what we get. Okay, I passed one test. Your page should have an image element. It does. Great. 2 more to go. And let's follow the instructions here. Set the source attribute so that it points to this URL. So you can copy the URL. And we're going to give it a source attribute, src. And you can see how they did it, which is just image space src and then equal sign. Yeah, I'm just looking at what they did. And then quotation marks. And now they want me to put this URL in there. Okay. Oh, and would you look at that? The cat shows up in my application to the right. So now I can run the tests again. There we go. But I have that, I'm missing something. It says your image element's alt attribute should not be empty. It's true. Remember, if you want to help out folks that need a screen reader, so you need to put alt. And with applicable text, it says, I will just say a cute kitten. How's that? Now I'm going to hit run all tests again, and it worked. Now here's a critical thing. Instead of going to the next challenge, what I'd like you to do is actually hit the X. And don't worry, you're not going to lose what you have here. You can hit run all tests again. It'll pass again. Just hit the X. Now what we want to do is apply this to our own thing. And this is a critical part of learning. You're building your own project. So you're going to go to Glitch. And when you log into Glitch, you're going to see your projects, the things you've been working on across the top. And you probably just have one. But I'm going to hit Edit Project. And it's going to load this project here. And we're working on the HTML file. We're learning HTML. So you click index.html. And the other thing you want to do is click these sunglasses and you say next to the code. So now I'm viewing the output of what I've typed in here and putting it right here next to the code. So remember, we're building something, we're building a web page about something we're interested in, something very niche, very specific, and maybe something that we want to learn more about because that'll be exciting. And so now I've done some lessons and I've changed the title and I've added some paragraph text. I feel pretty good about it. But now we want to apply what we just learned. So I can do the same thing. Let's put it right up at top again. We're adding an image element. So you go img source equals quotation marks. Now, where am I going to find something to put in those quotation marks? I'll close this first. So I've closed image, but we're missing something. We're missing a source for the image. So I just go to Wikipedia, and what I can do is take this cool graphic, and I'm right-clicking, and I'm going to open image in a new tab. Now on other devices, you could tap and hold to save this image or whatever it is. Basically, tap and hold to open in a new window. You want to open this to its own URL because this is what you need. This is what we're talking about, the URL. Then you can copy that URL and you can put it as the source file. And there you go. Now remember, we're not done yet. We need that alt tag. So we do alt equals, and then I'm going to describe this. I'm just going to say a screenshot of the video game The Legend of Zelda. Okay? So now this has an alt text, and it's a valid image. Now the thing is, when you're working in Glitch, you're on your own. If it shows up here on the right-hand side, it's working. There's no tests to run. This is your playground. Mess around with it as much as you want. So that's really the gist of it. Now you can come back to this and you hit run all tests. Okay. Now you would submit and go to the next challenge. And so what you're doing is you're going through, you're reading this thing, you're implementing with some tests here, and then you're going to go into Glitch and you're on your own and you're building your own first website. And what's really great is if you want to show this off now, you click a show and then in a new window. And now this link works for anyone you want to show it to. So that's it. That's what we're going to be doing. You're going to do this through the first 14 challenges, just like this. And if you want to go back, you would just go to learn and, work through these. Again, they make it very easy so that you can just add the thing and then move on to the next challenge. And you'll find that you're just ticking these off, and you'll want to do the first 14 under basic HTML and HTML5. And that'll also, remember, you're doing your Glitch project after each exercise. So you'll slowly be building on this. When you're done with all 14 for the day, and that's how many are in this day, there could be, 14 in another, 15 in another. It's all around 14, 15, 13. It's all around 15 different things a day. Once you're done, we have the daily check-in. So what you want to do is just enter in your email address. If you have never done the daily check-in, watch this quick video. And then how well do I understand the concepts presented so far? This is after I've done everything, every one of the 14, things, every one of the 14 challenges that I need to do. So I feel pretty good about it. I'll just say this for now. And then your Slack username. And yeah, I know it stinks to enter this in every single day, but it really helps me out as opposed to any other way of tracking it. So my Slack name is, it's found right here, right next to your image. If you look inside general, you can see, okay, here's Chaz. That's his Slack name. There's Mike Zetlow right there. So I'm going to add my Slack username, Mike Zetlow. Your FreeCodeCamp portfolio page. Remember, if you watch this video, I show how to get that, but I'll show it again now. You would just go to View My Portfolio on freecodecamp.org/learn, View My Portfolio. And here it is. Copy this URL, copy. And where am I going to put? I'm going to put that right here. And then your glitch interests page. That's what we're calling this. This is a page about your interests, whatever they may be. Again, you don't want to give me all the code and stuff like that. You just want to click Show and then in a new window and then copy this URL. This is the working URL that you can share with people. So we'll go there, post that there. Your glitch resume page. We haven't done that yet, and we won't do that until probably 2 weeks into the course. You will create a glitch page of your resume. It'll be very fun, very cool. But we haven't done that yet, so you can just leave that blank. And then you click Submit, and that's it. That's your daily check-in. So you're going through the 14 or so tasks, the challenges that you have. You're one at a time adding new things to your new site. When you're all done, you can do the daily check-in. And then finally, you can go into Slack, into resources, and this has, I'll post day 2's homework. And your homework is always to watch 1/2 hour of videos and read 1 article. It's not much, and it should be a lot of fun. So I'll just post these again every day in Slack, and you can just click on them, read the article, like, oh, that's interesting. Hopefully it's the stuff that you're reading is stuff that you can apply for the next day, some new learning techniques, some stuff about the industry, some stuff about your brain, stuff like that can help you in your quest to get into the world of tech. So that's the daily grind. That's what it's all about. Hopefully it's a lot of fun and engaging. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to me, Mike Zetlow. You can shoot me a direct message in Slack, and I'll be there to answer any questions you have.